Shalom, this is Yah is Magnified, and I'm back with another informative video. Today's video is titled, Father Identifies as Mother to Win Custody. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth, nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, guys, let's get to it. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this video is because a lot of individuals online has been actually talking about this case, okay? I haven't actually read the case myself, but I'm just going off some of the articles that I did read and what the articles are stating, okay? So before I give my take on the case, I would like you all to listen into the article, and after the article finishes playing, then we will go in and I will give my assessment of what's going on in the case and what I believe will in fact take place in this case and what I get from the article, okay? So without further ado, let's listen in.
Father identifies as mother to win custody. Renee Salinas Ramos says the legal change is an attempt to gain full custody of his daughters, because Ecuadorian law favors mothers in custody battles. He was very clear in stating that this was not related to his sexuality or his identity, but rather just to gain the custody of his daughters because their current mother is exposing them to danger. The laws say that the one who has the right is the woman. As of this moment, I am female. Now I'm also a mom. That's how I consider myself, Salinas Ramos told La Voz del Tombamba outside the Civil Registry Office on December 30th in the city of Cuenca. I am very sure of my sexuality. What I have sought is that I want to be a mother, so that I can also give the love and protection of a mother. Now that men can legally be classified as women in many countries, they are able to receive the legal benefits once only reserved for women. Many LGBTQ+ activist groups have voiced concerns about this, but who are we to say how this man should live? He is obviously trying to use all his legal rights to his advantage in order to look after himself and his family, and I personally see nothing wrong with that. Let us wish Renee luck in his attempt to remove his children from an undesirable situation.
Alright, so we just heard the article, and my take from the article is this. He wants to identify as a woman in order to receive the privileges of a mother, okay? Which is actually, in his case, it will not work. Why? Because he doesn't fall underneath the definition for the term mother. But what I do notice, and he's on the right path with, but he has to look at it in a different way, is that he knows that there's something dealing with the identity of the case. Okay, so now he wants to identify as the child's mother. Now understanding that, yes, you can identify as whatever you want to identify with, but the identity must fall underneath the statutes and codes of that term titled mother, okay? He wants to just simply be labeled as a woman. But just because you're labeled as a woman doesn't mean you're labeled as a mother, okay? Because just because you label yourself as a woman, or just because you are a woman, doesn't make you a mother. What makes you a mother is actually having the child, okay? So now let's go to the definition for the term mother coming out of the family terms, so you all can see what the family court definition for the term mother, and then we will see, do he fall underneath this definition. If he does not fall underneath this definition, then they will not classify him as a mother, even though he wants to be a woman, or he wants to be identified as a woman in order to receive his custody benefits, which I won't think that will work, guys. But again, let's go over the definition for the term mother. Let's go there. Okay, so now, as you all can see on the screen, we're coming from the family terms for the term mother. Okay, so in order for him to identify as a mother, not simply just to identify as a woman, this is what needs to take place, okay? Because a mother is in fact a what? A mother is a woman, but what? Who has given birth to. See, so he can identify as a woman, but he cannot identify as a mother because he did not give birth to the child. The mother who's he's going against in the custody battle, she gave birth to the child, so that identifies her as the mother and not just simply a woman. Because just because you're a woman doesn't make you a mother. What makes you a mother is you have to give birth to a child, which makes you a mother. The father, even though he's claiming to be a woman, he did not give birth to the child, so that will not give him mother status. Okay, that would just simply give him the status of being a woman, so I don't recommend that, okay? You shouldn't have to change your sexuality in order to receive remedy in these courts. No, okay? Forget what they want you all to believe. You don't have to do these things. But what the brother do know in the case is that this has everything to do with what he's identifying as. Okay, so you need to understand his identity before he enters into these courts. He's identifying, like I said, when you go into these courts, you can identify whatever you want to identify as. But you have to make sure when you're identifying and you're properly pointing out your identity, you have to understand why you're doing it and the purpose of doing so, okay? Not just to be doing it in order to receive certain privileges because another sex is receiving those privileges. No, okay? He's on about the identity, but he's off about the way he's going about changing the identity, okay? But let's continue. And it states what? Provided the egg for. He did not provide the egg for the child. No, he simply provided the sperm for the child, even though he wants to identify as the mother. And it's just that simple, guys. But let's continue. Or legally adopt a child. Okay? He did not legally adopt the child. Why? Because he already going in there as what? Previously before, he went in there as the biological father. So because he went as the biological father who wants to change himself to being the mother of the child, or the woman of the child, or being known, or being labeled as a woman, that does not give him a right to be labeled as the mother. And it's just that simple, guys. But let's continue. It states, the term is sometimes interpreted as including a pregnant woman who has not yet given birth. Okay, also, by him being labeled as a woman does not still give him the right to give birth to a child. Because we know that a man cannot give birth to a child. No matter what he go through, he cannot be able to give birth to a child, okay? His eternal organs will not allow him to do these things, okay? He was not created to do those things. And because a man wasn't created to give birth, he cannot give birth. Only a woman can give birth, guys, and it's just that simple, okay? So, again, his whole problem was identity. So let's go to the term identity, because I tell you all, you can always identify as what you want to identify as, but make sure you identify the right way, okay? So now let's go to the term identity. Let's go there. Okay, so now let's pick this up at the very top where it states identification, okay? The reason why I'm doing identification, just in case you all get pulled over by a policy enforcer, aka a police officer, and he asks for identification. Identification is simply what, guys? I have it highlighted. It's simply what? Proof of identity. That's it. That's all. But the definition goes a little bit deeper. So now let's continue reading the definition. It states what? Identification, proof of identity. Then it states what? The proving that a person, we know what a person is, guys. A person is simply a straw man. So when we see the term person, cross out the term person and put straw man. Why? Because a person is simply something that's put up in name only. That's it. That's all, guys. Okay. A person is not a man or a woman. It's just simply something put up in name only. It can be a corporation. It can be anything. Okay. That's why you have people calling it so many titles, such as the legal person, right? Or is known as the transmit utility, the ens legis. There's so many different titles, guys. The legal entity. But to keep it simple, since it's just one who is put up in name only, it's simply going to be straw man. So whenever you see the term straw man, whenever you see the term person, simply write straw man, okay? Cross the term out and write straw man so you're going to get a better understanding on what it is. And it states what? Subject. Why? Because the straw man is in fact subject to, or the ones who put up in name only are in fact subject to, okay? Why? Because of their proof of identity, or what they identify as. And it's just that simple. But let's continue. Or, article before the court is the very same that he or it is alleged, charged, or reputed to be. So again, if someone is alleging something, but if you go to court claiming to be what they're alleging, then there's no longer alleging that. That becomes a fact. So that's why it says, is the very same that he or it is alleged, charged, or reputed to be. Okay? And it's just that simple, guys. But now let's go to the definition for the term identity. Okay? So we see what in fact the identity is. And it states, very top right-hand corner, guys, identity is what? Evidence. Okay? Also, sameness. Sameness as what? Let's continue reading. The fact that a subject, okay? We know what a subject is. We just went over for identification. And a person. So again, we're going to cross person out, right? A straw man, like I was telling you guys prior in all my prior videos. Or thing before a court is the same as it is represented. Okay? So, in order for a court to proceed forward, they must prove that the identities are the same of the person that's standing before the court that is being represented, guys. And it's just that simple, okay? But let's continue again. Identity is what? Let's read it all from the beginning. It states what? Evidence, sameness, the fact that a subject, person, or thing before a court is the same as it is represented, claimed, or charged to be. And it's just that simple, guys. But to further prove this, let's go to another one of my dictionaries, and let's go with the term identity. Let's go there. Alright, so now let's pick this up at the top where it states ID. ID is simply a what? An abbreviation for what? Identity. That's it. That's all, guys. So someone asking you to produce ID, they're asking you to produce your identity. That's it. That's all, guys. But let's continue. Identification, what we just read in the last law dictionary, and it reads what? The act of identifying someone or something. Just that simple, okay? Short, sweet, to the point. The other one went in more detail, okay? But let's continue on to identify. And it states what? To say who someone is or what something is. That's all the identifying is, okay? To identify, that's it, okay? But let's continue on to identity. And it states what? Who someone is. That's what identity is. Who someone is, okay? But let's continue. To change one's identity, okay? Just letting you know what to do to change one's identity. It simply states what? To assume what? A different name. Why, guys? Because they can only sue a name and be sued a name. The story goes over and over and over and over again. I haven't changed my pitch since I came on YouTube. I simply go more and more into detail to show you guys this simple truth. That's it. That's all. But let's continue. It states what? Change one's appearance, etc. Then it states, usually done to avoid being recognized, right? But then let's go to the next bold area where it states to ask for proof of identity. Then it states to ask someone to prove they are really the person they say they are, right? But now let's go to the next bold word lettering. And it reads what? Case of mistaken identity, guys. I'm going to leave you all right here with this definition, okay? And then I'm going to go back to the article. And I'm going to read something out of the article before I let you all go, okay? But again, let's read it. Case of mistaken identity. And it states what? A situation where a person is wrongfully thought to be someone else. And it's just that simple, guys. Okay? For those who have eyes to see, will see this truth. Those who have ears to hear, will hear this truth. Okay? Be ye not deceived. Understand what's really going on. Again, for those who are having trouble, go back and watch my video. They can only be pseudonym and they can only sue a name and be pseudonym. Watch that video, you'll get better understanding of what's going on. Why? Because everything has dealing with what? Identity. And the brother in the video, or excuse me, in the article, who's fighting custody, he knows it has everything to do with identity, but he don't know how to put it in place. I guarantee you, if he watch my videos and he listen to what I'm saying, he will be able to go in there and execute what he need to do. But like I tell you all, I do not recommend anyone going to the court and fighting for custody, okay? I do not recommend that, all right? And I have my reasons, and for those who working with me, you all know my reasons, okay? But now, let's continue on. Let's go back to the article. So now, as you all can see, we're right back at the article. But before I let you all go, I just want to go over a quick section with you all just to further, prove certain things, okay? But it states what? Again, father identifies his mother to win custody. But let's continue. Now, let's pick it up at the top. It says, Renee Silas Ramos says the legal change is an attempt to gain full custody of his daughter because Ecuadorian law favors mothers in custody battles. So again, Ecuadorian law, right, favors mothers in custody battles. Not women's, but mothers, okay? So he don't want to switch his status to a female. He really wants to switch his status to a mother. But we're going to prove that as well, even though he keeps claiming he wants to be a female. But it states what? He was very clear in stating that this was not related to his sexuality or his identity, but rather just to gain the custody of his daughters because their current mother is exposing them to danger, right? Then it states, the law, this is what he says, and he quotes, and he quoted, and he states, the law says that the one who has the right is the woman. As of this moment, I am female. So now he claimed because he is female, that automatically makes him a mother. No, because you're claiming to be a female, that will automatically make you a woman according to you, but it won't make you a mother. Why? Because as we went over the definition, what makes a woman a mother is the act of having the child as in actually giving birth to the child and producing the seed that holds, producing the egg that holds the seed, okay? In order for her to give birth to that child. That would make a female a mother. And it's just that simple, guys. Okay? But it states, let's continue on. It states, now I am also a mom. That's how I consider myself. So he says he considers himself a mom now because he changed his status from male to female. No, you're now a female, right? But you're not underneath mom's status because you didn't actually give birth to the child. And that's what the court is going to actually use against them. I'm pretty sure. That's why I wish I can have the actual case. I can go over it. But the only thing I can find is articles, guys. But let's continue. Now, he also states right here, right? He states right here, I am very sure of my sexuality. What I sort is that I want to be what? A mother. So that's what I'm telling you guys. He wants to be a mother. But you can't be a mother, guys. He can't be a mother. He's a male. He's a man. Okay, but if you want to identify as a woman, so be it. But he won't be able to identify as a mother. Why? Because he didn't carry the child. And he did not give birth to that child. Okay, only thing he did was impregnate the child's mom, who's also going in there as the mother, who is the rightful mother. She's going in there as the mother. He impregnated her with his seed, which makes her the mother. He didn't get impregnated with her seed, so he can't be the mother. He doesn't have the egg, he has the seed. And because he doesn't have the egg but the seed, that still puts him in male form, even though he wants to identify as a female. Okay, but he can identify as a female if he chooses to. He just can't identify as a mother because he did not bear the child or carry the child and give birth to that child. It's just that simple, guys. Then it states right here, so, right here, guys. Let me highlight it. So that I can give the love and protection of a mother. Okay? That's it. That's all, guys. So I just wanted to go over that real quick to let you all know that his whole thing is he wants to be a mother, even though he changed his identity to a woman. So he feels as though the best way he can be a mother is to simply say he's now a female. But that doesn't make you a mother. Being a female, this doesn't make you a mother. What makes you a mother is one actually carrying the child and giving birth to that child. That what makes you a mother. According to biblical law and also according to these corporate state laws and stuff like that. That's, you know, as we just read in their law books. So again, if you all need my help, hit me up in my email at yahuahismagnified@gmail.com. I do thank you all for watching. Like, share, subscribe, guys. And also, cop that merch, okay? And if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified if I'm dropping these powerful videos. So with that being said, I say shalom.